Listen very closely, because I am begging you to stop using prehistoric methods to prevent divorce in today's modern marriage landscape. Being a nice guy had its time. Buying her gifts, flowers to make it better. It also worked 100 years ago. Even talking about the problems and going to see a therapist, they all had their time. Though don't get me wrong, these methods can help, but only at a specific time in the marriage recovery process. Those methods only help when the wife is on board and invested into fixing things herself. And right now, I know by polling and speaking with thousands of you over the years that the vast majority have wives who have checked out, asked for space, said, I love you, but I'm no longer in love with you anymore, or moved out of the bedroom. And that is okay, because I spent the past decade fixing those exact problems in marriages. So today, you are going to discover how to stop divorce and save your marriage without convincing her. In the next few minutes, I will help you change the way she feels about you, get her to say sorry and apologize for questioning marriage, and get her to swear she only wants to be with you. Now, following this exact method got our clients results like these.
And she's literally just like, I love you. I want us to be back together. Can you please just give me a chance? I love you so much. It was just like, whoa, like, is this really happening right now?
My wife and I have decided to renew our vows and have an actual wedding now, and all that stuff.
Ryan, that is crazy, man. That is crazy.
And we created this incredible connection that night. It was awesome. We made love. We woke up the next day and everything was great. We did chores around the house together. We made dinner together with the kids.
Let's just dive into the first principle, the paradox of attraction. So let me start off with this quote from Dr. Ryan Teraband, a guy we interviewed on our podcast. Is a great YouTube channel. He said recently in one of his videos, wanting someone more has never in the history of time made them want you more. Then why are we starting here? Why do I start with this paradox of attraction? Well, the other day, a guy asked me why our ERM method works so much better than when I practice traditional therapy. Here's the answer that I usually give. So right now, your marriage is like a separate entity, a living being. And right now, it is dying. Okay, it has a terminal illness. It is even bleeding now. Now, you go to the doctor. The doctor prescribes you some medicine, diagnoses the problem, and says, okay, I'll see you a week from now for 1 hour. How likely are you going to save that living thing? Your marriage is the same way. How is it possible to completely save marriage when you see a therapist once a week for an hour? That's just one of the many mistakes therapy has that's outdated, especially for a situation that you're in. So instead, what I want to do is I want to teach you the exact tools and exact things that you could do on your own to save the marriage without her help. So look, right now, trying to fix things, trying to talk it out, you're putting pressure on the relationship, and that pressure is just causing it to bleed even more. She needs space. A lot of men freak out because they think to themselves, if I gave her space, she would lose more feelings for me. I need to fix this now. But in reality, that space allows her to calm down, to feel safe, to heal. And then she's willing to see you in a different light. But by putting pressure on her and trying to fix things, it just confirms in her mind that you're not someone who makes her feel safe. And it makes her more repulsed and thus justifies her decision to leave you. I've seen this enough where guys shoot themselves in the foot. She is willing to see you differently. She's willing to believe that your love story can be fixed. But I can guarantee you that if you continue to try to talk things out, buy her flowers, do all these logical things to fix it, it just adds that pressure and it confirms you are not the man for her. So how do we fix all this? This is where the ERM method comes in. It is built on one premise. Her emotions dictate her perceptions of you. If you change her mood, you will change her mind. It is based on this analogy of the emotional tipping scale. Over the years, when you guys fell in love, you guys got married, you did all these things together to make the relationship powerful and strong. She saw you in a positive perspective where you could do no wrong. You were the hero. You were her personal God. But of course, over time, what happens? You get complacent, you get lazy, little betrayals happen, big trauma happens in your life, and it affects her sense of safety. And eventually what happens over time, the scale shifts into the other perspective. And now everything you do is seen through the eyes of being a villain. You can do no right. This is why trying to do all these favors for her and trying to fix things, it goes through the filter of he's being manipulative. This is not actually who he is. It's because of these emotions. And you have to realize that so many therapists don't understand this concept. This is how our brains process decisions, especially being in the relationship with the person we're with. So let's go over the 4 keys to shift everything back into that positive perspective. Each of these key shifts will be massive deposits on the positive side of the scale, making her see you as the hero and in love with you again. And the first key is about removing resentment. Let me first describe the concept of frame real quick. Frame is the idea that we all have our own individual perceptions of reality. We all have our perceptions of ourselves, of other people, of marriage. We have our own concepts. A lot of those concepts could overlap. We can have similar ideas and beliefs and emotions around certain events, but oftentimes they don't do that, right? People have conflict, and that's okay. Now, our emotions highly dictate the way we see things, okay? This is why she sees you a specific way. Now, I recognize that she hurt you too. I know your wife's not perfect. I don't harp on a lot in the show because I want you to take the change yourself, because if a man leads, his wife follows. But I know she's hurt you. There's pain there. There's betrayal. Okay, so let's sit with that for a second. You have to heal those. You have to forgive her and heal the resentment. And here's why. Imagine you have all these wounds on your body, okay? And she's the one that put them there. And you chose to never, just like, I don't care about this. I know I'm in pain. I just want her back, okay? And let's say you actually get her back without healing those wounds yourself and removing that resentment. What do you think is going to happen the first time she gets close to you? She says a little remark. She tests you. It's going to hurt because you never healed it. And you're going to do something to react, become defensive. And guess what's going to happen? Oh, he's the same exact man as he was. And then the one chance that you had to actually make it better, you screwed it up. And I don't want that to happen. And so this is an easy fix, because once you do heal, you become less reactive. And that is the number one sign, not reacting to her tests as much, that you have indeed changed. There's also the idea of the law of reciprocity and or state transference. In that, you have these subconscious feelings of hurt and anger. But if you heal those and you get to a place of peace and happiness again, despite being with her, she will feel those emotions from you. And that makes her feel more safe, less anxious. And she wants to be closer to you because we love feeling good. Honestly, this one key alone is the 80% of getting her back. It really is. Now, we have a whole entire framework and meditation, visualization exercises, and personal coaches in helping men remove resentment and learn to truly forgive. But you must understand that the main process of this is to see those things she did from a different perspective. Most often, the faulty belief that a lot of men have is that she did those things purposely to hurt you, that she's mean, that she's vindictive, that she's just a bad person at times. That is not the case, okay? And until you can see from the correct perspective, we have lots of perspectives in our program on how to do this, you will continue holding that resentment, harboring it, and it'll sabotage you. The second key in the ERM method is extreme ownership. The most fundamental and important truths at the heart of extreme ownership: there are no bad teams, only bad leaders. This comes from Jocko Willink. Now, in your relationship, you're on a team with your partner. You can say your whole family is a team if you have children, but you are the leader. The man leads in the relationship. I don't care how much she has been leading, you are the one that's supposed to lead. And therefore, you take full responsibility where things have fallen apart. This is going to be a bitter pill to swallow. And only a man that truly wants to grow and become better is going to listen to the next words I say. You fucked up. You got lazy. You got complacent. You took her for granted. You didn't lead enough. You could have been a better man. You could have changed the way she felt about you. You could have guided her. You could have influenced her and made her feel completely safe, that you are so valuable in her eyes that she would never think of losing you. But she did, because you got weak. And that is the truth. And I love you, and it's okay. You are allowed to make mistakes, but I'm telling you, you have to start there. If you don't start with extreme ownership, if you don't say, I have messed up and now I can do something about it, not only will you not get her back, you will continue this pattern in every single relationship. I know this is not pleasant to hear, but this bitter pill of medicine, this truth, it will set you free and start you off from a jumping point in which you can grow and you have the best opportunity to get her back. You see, when a man is uncertain about his woman, his hesitation becomes her hesitation. When he wavers, she wavers. A man's doubt is contagious. It spreads through the relationship like a virus, weakening the very foundation that love needs to thrive. Every couple has their relationship crystal, okay? When you guys get together, you have this perfect formed relationship sphere, okay, this crystal, and everything inside of it is your pure love, joy, and bliss. You guys are in harmony together, divine masculine union, perfection. But what happens over time is little cracks can occur, okay? Through you dismissing her, through you not showing up for her, not being a man of your word, not leading her, not getting her excited, not holding space for her when she's emotional, okay? But these things on these outside influences, that guy from work that flirts with her unhappy divorced single friends, her therapist, even Instagram and TikTok reels about relationships. All those things were always there, potentially harming the relationship. It is almost like the disease model, where all these viruses are floating around every single day. We touch the viruses for so many colds and flus every single day. Why don't we get sick? Because our immune system is protecting us. Your guys' relationship or marriage immune system has suffered. And now these things that were always there has started to seep in because there's cracks in the relationship. Those cracks occurred because of the pain and the betrayal and the lack of safety you provided her. You. So if you take extreme ownership, you recognize that there is cracks. Now there's something to fix. Don't you see? A lot of men that are blaming these outside influences, are you blind to the cracks in them, in this crystal, in this perfect love circle that you have with her? They are there. It doesn't matter who caused them. You're the guy that's going to fix them, but it only starts with fixing them by recognizing that you had a part in them. The third key is the attraction paradox. We already talked about this with the disease model and you bleeding out and how trying to fix things immediately only puts pressure on her and causes the things to get worse. So what is the correct mindset here to have? Well, there's something called the Stockdale paradox. It's based on this General Stockdale, who was a prisoner of war, okay? There were things that General Stockdale, what he noticed and the mindset he should have that actually got him to come back home, that other soldiers didn't have that privilege. You see, most men think, I'm going to get my wife back soon, but I'm not that certain if I'm going to. So they walk around with a lack of hope, lack of certainty. She feels that, and they're trying to anxiously do all these things to make it work. That is the exact opposite of what actually works. You see, General Stockdale realized that a lot of other people in the camp that were prisoners just like him, what really caused them to end their life and to suffer was that they believed, oh, I'm going to get home potentially in the next, I don't know, a couple months by Christmas. I'm not sure, but yeah, Christmas is going to work. Christmas rolls around. And then Christmas rolls around, guess what happens? They don't come home and they lose hope. This consistently happened. Here's what General Stockdale did instead. He said to himself, I know for a fact I'm coming home. I know that, but I don't know how long it's going to take. And so the men in our program, we had them adopt this mindset. When the men in our program fully believe that they're going to get the wife back, they have so much certainty. She feels it. She feels that confidence, and there's nothing she can do to weigh them off course. But they also don't rush things because they're not anxious. They're like, you know what? You're worth it. And I don't even think we're ready to get back together yet. I still have some work to do on myself. And it's paradoxical in nature. By actually pushing things out, by not rushing, by taking care of themselves, the wife feels safe. She notices the changes, and then she comes back even sooner. And we've seen this time and time again. The other benefit to all this is it puts you in process-oriented mode versus outcome-oriented mode. You see, men in outcome-oriented mode, what they do is they focus on the outcome. They put their own internal happiness outside of themselves. I will be happy when my wife comes back. I'll be good when she puts the ring back on, when she moves back in the house. They put these things that are outside of their control, dictating their own happiness. So when she does her natural thing of being up and down and all around because she's uncertain, what do you think happens to you? You become this uncertain mess and you fall apart. And she looks at you and says, wow, he really isn't my rock. But if you put the process on yourself, which means, hey, I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to do these things to become a better man because I want to. And therefore, as a byproduct, you have the best opportunity to get her back. Those are the men that get her back.
I was telling her what I wanted. Like, I wasn't asking. And that just kind of built that also, where it was like, every time I did that, and when I made that mindset of like, I'm going to try to date her with no expectations. Like, I changed my tone around her, acted like, when we wake up, like, because we were in separate beds and stuff, first time I saw her in the morning, like, how would I act if we were just dating? Like, I'd be happy to see her in the morning, right? My tone would be, a certain way. And I just started doing that. And each time I started doing that, like, I could actually see her changing. And I really worked really hard on like just my own energy. And, it took a long time to do it, and had to practice it multiple times a day, like through breathing and stuff. But it was like, I wanted to make sure I was really calm around her and slowed down. And I could see her slowing down. Yeah. So it was literally like she was even picking up on my energy, which was crazy, like that she could sense that.
The fourth key to the ERM method is the polarity paradox. Man, her testing you is the biggest gift that you can receive. She's testing you because she's uncertain. She wants to have emotional safety. She wants that stability in her life to feel safe so she can relax, so she can feel good in her body and be connected to you because of all that. But in order for her to feel safe, she has to know that you are the guy to protect her. She has to know that you are solid in who you are as a man. And she only knows that moment by moment. You can give it to her one moment and then she feels safe. You guys have this connection together. But the next moment she's going to test you again because she is uncertain. And think of all the years and years and years and years of tests that you failed, and she still stuck around that long. That's how much she actually loves you. The purpose of her test is to feel your strength, and she can only know that you are strong for her if she presses up against you, if she tests your boundaries, right? She leans up against them. She says and does things that maybe feels disrespectful to you. Or you said that you don't want to do something, and then she'll say or do it. She wants to know you're going to draw a line in the sand, because her most important feeling from you is a feeling of respect, not love. Her respect for you is what keeps her there. And she can only respect you when she comes up against you and realizes, oh, I can't do anything I want to this man. He holds his own value. He's willing to walk away, okay? And that's why it's a paradox. Because the more willing you are to walk away, if it's not serving you, the more likely she will come back.
The test is there. You know what's so awesome is the tests too. I can see them. They're telegraphed now. I can pick them off now. Now I know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now I know.
And the most important part of those tests, at least for me personally, is knowing really why she does them. Right? It's all come from a place of not feeling loved.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Not protected, not loved.
So she's got some tenacity and what have you, but the tests are there. And when you're feeling resentful, it's like starting a fight. Each test was like, bring it. I don't see it that way anymore. It's an opportunity to communicate with her, listen, and sort something out. I just see it totally differently.
If you need additional help from experts on our team on implementing all these strategies, you can send the free strategy call down below. Just fill out the application. It's free. Just make sure you're emotionally invested into actually making some change. Thanks for watching. Here's the video on tests right here that goes deeper into the concept of the test, how to test, why women test, how to pass them using frameworks. And here's an in-depth ERM method video as well. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.